Mr. Speaker, last week the Premier was mulling over the possibility that marijuana would be sold through a Crown corporation so that he as Premier might become the chief salesperson for marijuana in Manitoba. The Premier said his reason for controlling the market is that marijuana is highly addictive. Mr. Speaker, this claim sounds very familiar. Is the Premier of the same view as former Prime Minister Harper that marijuana is infinitely worse than tobacco?
Mr. Speaker, I appreciate the question from the member. This is the member that a few years ago wanted to protect people from alcohol by putting special labels on the bottles, Mr. Speaker, and now he's advocating for slashing prices on alcohol and making it more available to Manitobans at a lower cost, and also is musing, along with the leader of his political party, about privatizing the Liquor and Lotteries Commission of Manitoba, Mr. Speaker. That is not a responsible approach to making drugs which can be potentially addictive available to any Manitoban, whether it's marijuana or whether it's alcohol or whether it's participating in gaming, Mr. Speaker, which can have addictive qualities for some members as well, Mr. Speaker. The approach we take on all of these matters is to manage them in such a way that we reduce the risk for people that are vulnerable to addictions, Mr. Speaker, while regulating them in such a way that Manitobans who wish to participate in using any of these products do it as safely as possible and are educated to be fully aware of the risks of that participation so that they can do it with the least amount of risk to themselves and their families, Mr. Speaker.
The Premier is promoting doing this without risk. I'm not sure if he knows what he's doing, but he is. The Premier has said that he believes the training program for employees already within liquor and lotteries will help them advise consumers on the risks of marijuana use. Mr. Speaker, I've been in liquor stores on occasion and I found employees very well trained to advise me on different brands, but it's never been apparent that their training is to advise customers on the risks of alcohol use. I asked the Premier, is this to be a new approach for employees now to be advising customers about the risks of alcohol and marijuana?
Mr. Speaker, the member might have seen some of the advertisements that have been sponsored by the Liquor and Lotteries Commission with respect to social responsibility, ads on fetal alcohol spectrum disorder and the risks to young mothers for the consumption of alcohol at that time of their life, Mr. Speaker. That's important messaging and education we need to provide the public. Mr. Speaker, under our laws, we have obligations on behalf of people that serve alcoholic beverages in hotels and other venues. They have to do it in a socially responsible way. They have some obligation to ensure that people don't overconsume these products, Mr. Speaker. These are part of what we do by having a Crown Corporation provide these services and these products to the public, Mr. Speaker. It allows us to do a job on protecting the public from the risks of consuming various forms of alcohol and or other drugs such as marijuana and or participating in gaming activities which can be addictive. We have an obligation to let the public know the risks. It's not a question of a prohibition, Mr. Speaker. That has been tried in the past that didn't work, but it is a commitment towards social responsibility by making sure that the public properly regulates these things through the Crown corporations. That's a very different vision than the member from River Heights is now putting forward, where he wants to privatize these products.
The Honourable First Minister's time on this question has elapsed.
Mr. Speaker, it's the Premier's own government who separated the regulator and the seller. So, I mean, having the regulator there can actually manage things quite well. Mr. Speaker, the CEO of Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries said that marijuana could be sold in independently run stores or through Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries. Now, does the Premier want marijuana to be sold like cigarettes in bland packages with warning labels and kept locked up behind counters, or will he market it widely with public ads, as Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries is doing with liquor and with their holiday scratch cards? And indeed, as the Premier has been doing recently, promoting liquor on Twitter, as I will table.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I appreciate the question from the member opposite. We did recently have a product in Manitoba called whiskey that was ranked #1 in the world, Mr. Speaker.
Oh, there we go.
And that was just after the week that Manitoba was, and Winnipeg was considered one of the top 20 destinations for anybody wishing to take a treat, Mr. Speaker. In all of these cases, Mr. Speaker, when any product is available through the Liquor and Lotteries Commission, we expect them to make that available to the public in a responsible manner. And that's what we will do as we go forward. The federal government indicated they were going to legalize marijuana. That makes sense for a bunch of reasons, Mr. Speaker. First of all, it takes control out of the product, out of the hands of organized crime. That is a big benefit to the public. It reduces crime and criminal activity in our communities, Mr. Speaker. The second thing the federal government said is they would not make it available to minors, Mr. Speaker. That totally makes sense as well, Mr. Speaker. There is research that indicates that the consumption of these products by minors can lead to very serious issues for them for the rest of their lives, Mr. Speaker. So as this product becomes legalized, we will use our Liquor and Lotteries Gaming Authority and our Liquor and Lotteries Crown Corporation to ensure that these products are made available to Manitoba in a responsible way. And our Minister of Justice recently visited jurisdictions in the United States, and they said, you're very fortunate to have these controls in place. We wish we had those tools available to us to
Order,
protect
please.
the public.
Honourable First Minister's time on this question has elapsed.